This is the plaintiff, Matthew Salzman. He says the defendant, his ex-fiancée, won't return the very beautiful and expensive engagement ring he gave her once they called off their wedding. Basically, the defendant's mother came between them, and she chose her mother. Oh well, he's moved on, but wants the $5,000 he's owed, so he's suing. This is the defendant, Annetta Sokolowska. She says she thinks the plaintiff's lost his mind and may even be a bit crazy. When they were engaged, he lost his job, had no money, and she paid for everything. Once they split up, they agreed the ring would be used as a reimbursement for all the money she spent supporting him. Now, 7 years later, the plaintiff wakes up and decides to sue her for it? Come on. She's accused of bringing up a lawsuit.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Matthew Salzman, you are suing your former girlfriend, Annetta Sokolowska, for $5,000, the value of an engagement ring that you say you gave to her but never received back after it was broken off. Tell me what happened.
Correct. Yeah, we got engaged to get married. And
when?
About over 7 years ago, maybe 7 years ago now, 05.
And how long had you been dating?
Roughly 2.5 years.
Before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should live with me.
And?
And pretty much we broke it off. She broke it off. I didn't break it off. And just never got the ring back.
Okay.
I tried calling her. I tried chasing her around for like almost a year, and I just gave up. I couldn't get the ring.
Okay, but I can't help but notice that it's 7 years later now.
Yeah.
And now's when you're suing her. Why is that?
Well, it's because, like I said, the first year I did whatever I could to try to get the ring back myself.
Did you file a lawsuit?
Not at that time, no.
Okay, why didn't you do that? I'm just curious.
Because I was hoping, between that time and now, if we got back together, we got back together. And
So you're an eternally patient Job. How patient can you be? 7 years? Have you been dating her during those 7 years? Have you been back and forth, off and on, or no?
No. We really haven't seen each other.
You haven't seen each other in the 7 years?
No.
So what possesses somebody to pop up 7 years later and file a lawsuit?
It's the principle. It's really
No, it's not the principle, because the principle was there 7 years ago and it didn't propel you to go to court and file a lawsuit. That's why I'm wondering. Are you going through financial difficulty now?
No, not right now.
Okay. Now, when you guys broke up, what efforts did you make? Tell me how the discussion went about the ring.
Pretty much, like I said, like when I proposed to her, it was to get married. It wasn't something that was a gift or, so something she can keep for sentimental reasons. It just wasn't for that. Her mother and her, when I proposed to her, they wanted me to marry her without like my family's blessing, and then not even have how do you
Reception?
say it? Reception.
But what do you mean by that? You mean they wanted you to marry her when? Like tomorrow? Like
basically,
right away?
yeah.
But why? Was there a citizenship issue?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
My family just was not having that. I didn't grow up that way.
Right.
So, by just getting married with just her and someone else, a priest, for her sake, it just, they didn't agree to it.
Your Honor, can I object to that?
No,
because
I'm going to give you the floor in a moment. I assume you object to everything he said from the moment he said good morning. So
yes.
Just hold on a second. But so your family didn't like that, but that's not why you guys broke up, is it?
The reason why we broke up is because...
you've been dating for 2.5 years. This wasn't like, hey, will you do me a favor and make me legal? This was like you guys were a real couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you broke up for a different reason. What your perception of this, and I'm going to ask her in a second, was that you broke up, why?
The reason why I believe is because when she was living with me, she decided to go to school, and beauty school, whatever the case may be. And at that time, I was pretty much, I was paying for everything. We were living at my parents' house, paying rent. And, I said, why don't you move back home with your mom for a year? And if you care about me that much, when you're done graduating after 12 months, we'll move back into it with each other. And her mother just didn't speak to me for about a year. And then it seemed like she gave her an ultimatum. It was me or her.
But why did they do that? Because
I told her to move back home with her mother.
And you told her to move back with her mother, why?
Because I didn't want to have her, while she wasn't working, going to school full time and me paying for everything.
Okay.
you know.
All right, Ms. Sokolowski, can pronounce it for me.
Sokolowska.
Sokolowska, what's your take on this?
My take is that this man is absolutely lying about basically almost everything. I took care of him. He did not have a job for most of our relationship. Only job he had was a great job at Mercedes-Benz. I was working at the time too. He lost that job because he was indirectly stealing. He got fired.
What is indirectly stealing?
He was doing illegal things he wasn't supposed to be doing.
These litigants were engaged but broke it off 7 years ago, and he waited that long to sue for the ring back. Is something fishy? Let's listen.
He was a detail manager there. He got a percentage of every car that he did, and a percentage went to the dealership. He decided to bring in cars on the side and pocket all the money. You know, these people found out after a very short period of time. They realized what was happening. They fired him. It was very embarrassing to me because they gave me a job there. They gave him a job there. I knew again that I was going to be responsible for everything. I worked, Your Honor, the whole time we were together. I paid for everything. Then when he lost that job, he started going through withdrawals from, he was very heavily addicted to prescription medication, Vicodin, along with other things. It was really terrible what he was going through. To see that, I stuck by him. He would sweat profusely. He would have terrible temper. He would be pale in the face, just sweating, pacing, punching things. I didn't leave. I wanted to help him, sincerely wanted to help him from the bottom of my heart. We found a doctor in Great Neck, all the way from Selden, where we lived, to Great Neck. I drove him in my car. It was $500 because he did not have insurance that I paid out of my own pocket in cash to the doctor to get him help. He also stole money from me many times. I would have to go to work, hide my money in places that I only knew of.
What was he stealing your money for, do you think?
Probably for the prescription medication, because after a while I said it was $500 to take him to the doctor to get some medication every time. I took him maybe 4 or 5 times. I said, after that, I have no money. You have to, you know, he said he was going to give me the money back after he gets a job. He
So
never got a job.
$500 each time?
Each time, in cash.
Okay.
He didn't have insurance. The same
Tell me
problem.
about once you guys broke, who broke up? You broke up?
I broke up the engagement.
He claims that your mother was the one who broke you guys up.
You know, I have no idea where all that is coming from. The
How old are
reason
you?
we actually broke
How
up.
old are you?
Right now?
Yep.
29.
29. So you guys were young when you got engaged.
Yes.
How
I'm
old are you?
stupid.
I'm going to be 32 April.
Okay, so go ahead.
One morning, I asked him, please, you have to finally get a job. I can't do it all by myself. He got so upset. I guess it was still all those pills were in him. I don't know. He basically flipped out, started banging his fist on the dashboard of the car on my side, pulled the car over, reached over to the handle of my car, opened it and said, get that out. Okay.
Of your own car?
Of the car. This was February.
It's your car?
No, his car at
his
the
car.
time. It was freezing, Your Honor. It was February. I didn't
cold
have
was
a
it?
phone. I'm sorry.
How cold was it?
It was
February
freezing.
in Massachusetts. Where are you
It
guys
was
from?
early
New York?
February. I don't remember exactly what day,
Okay.
but it was early February.
Okay.
There was a strip of the street. There was nothing there. No gas station. No stores. There was no place I could go into and wait or get warm or to get help.
What'd you do?
I had to go back to the home to call and get help.
Okay, how far were you from the home?
About 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Walking?
Walking.
So you
yes.
walked back to the home, and then
I
you
walked
started
back
to
to the
point
home.
to the gentleman next to
I
you.
call. This is a friend, a very close friend of the family that was
came to
staying
pick
with
you up?
my family at
Okay.
the time as a guest from Hawaii. He actually came here all the way from Hawaii just to be a witness to this because
Okay.
no one can believe that this is actually
Except for
happening.
that I understand he doesn't speak English.
He does not speak English.
Okay, so I'm not sure why he came all the way from Hawaii, but welcome to New York. Okay.
to write me a notarized statement.
Okay, well, that he could have done from Hawaii, from the privacy of Hawaii. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So you guys, hold on one second. You guys break up. What is the discussion about the ring? Because I assume you broke up after this little showdown on the street.
He picked me up. He brought me back to my family's home.
Got it. When you two talked to each other again.
Didn't speak 4 weeks after. Finally, he called me weeks after, said, I'm really sorry. I think we should get married again. It's going to work. It's going to work. I said, absolutely not. Are you crazy? I said, I'll give you the ring back. You owe me over $6,000. Please give me my money back. We'll go our separate ways. He laughed in my
and
face.
the $6,000 were for the doctors and what
For
else?
the doctors, he borrowed money from me. Oh, he would say, oh, can I have $300 for car insurance? Can I have $200 for this, $200 for that?
Was he
over
paying
time.
for stuff for you too or no?
Absolutely not. I was paying for everything. He did not have a job. He did not have a salary job.
Okay. And so according to you, he said to you what? about the ring?
He said to me, give me the ring back. Okay. And that was basically it. I said, okay, no problem. Just give me the money that you owe me. He said, I have no money to give you. Yeah, right. So I said, okay, well, you have no money to give me, but I have the ring. So I'll go and sell the ring and we'll leave it at that. We'll go our separate ways. So that was.
And he said,
okay, fine, because I have no money to give you.
okay. So according to you then, the ring is a set-off to pay you back for all the things that you did for him that he didn't have the money to pay you.
Correct.
So when you heard 7 years later that he was suing you, what was your response?
Thought that I can't believe that this is happening. I feel that he doesn't have a job.
When did you guys break up? In 2005?
2006.
In six,
beginning
you
of
broke up.
2006.
Okay.
So over 6 years
So
ago.
when you heard it, did you call him or something? I mean, you guys hadn't talked to each other at all?
Absolutely. I didn't want to speak to him. I think he's
Absolutely not,
absolutely
then. You didn't
crazy.
call- So this is the first time you see him in 6 years?
I saw him maybe once or twice when we were out. All he did was smile and wave to me. I turned around and walked the other way.
You didn't even wave? The guy you were engaged
No,
to
I didn't
marry?
wave because everything that he put me through, Your Honor, was absolutely
the car thing?
disgusting. I'm sorry?
The car thing?
Everything. He stole from me. He was, the job that we were at, he was stealing money from those people.
She describes a very different scenario than you do. She
Yeah. describes
describes a scenario where you basically owe her for getting healthy again, if in fact you are healthy and are off prescription drugs. What say you to that?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So he waits like 5 years to sue for the ring back. Is he suing? Is he waited too long?
No, I don't think so.
He has not waited too long.
No, I don't.
Why?
Well, I think that he deserves his ring back. If they didn't get married, then she should give it back.
But at what point is enough where you just wait too long?
I mean, maybe a couple years, but 5 or 7, that is too long.
It's too long. Sir, I'm getting a man's point of view here. You're going to break the tie.
It is way too long. If he wants the money back, he should have gone to her home and tell her.
Are you guys together?
Yeah.
Yes.
You look scared to disagree with her. I mean, you literally look scared right
Are
now.
you scared?
Do you control him this way?
No.
We should have a talk.
Depends on the relationship.
Yeah, right. Going inside the courtroom.
She's helped me before, but I've helped her too.
Neither one of you have any emails to show me or texts or anything like that, right?
I have,
So
as far
you
as
do?
documents, I have the receipt that I bought the ring.
Uninterested. Right now, there's two parts to every, and let me tell you why. I don't mean to be, well, I do mean to be sarcastic, but let me tell you why. There's two parts to every lawsuit. Step one is liability, okay? And step two is damages. First, you gotta prove, Judge, she done me wrong. She's supposed to return the ring. She didn't return the ring. It's a gift in contemplation of marriage in your state. It means that you give a ring and that person's supposed to give it back if the marriage doesn't happen, so she owes you the ring or the value of the ring.
Right.
Got it, okay? But she has a defense.
Okay.
And her defense, you got nothing to disprove on, which is, Judge, he owed me so much money that it's all set off. Even if I would have had to give him the $5,000 for the ring that he's claiming, which I say is only $800, but which she says is only $800, I don't have to do that, Judge, because he owes me $6,000. So we called it even then. So it should be even now. I've got these two opposing views, and then I've got 6 years. Who do you think the 6 years weighs for? Think that weighs in favor of your version?
It's up to you.
Indeed it is.
Right. So
Indeed it is.
I honestly.
And the problem that you have is that very heavily weighs into her version. That y'all said you'd call it quits and even then.
She
Verdict
did
for the
not make-
defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the defendant has won this decision here from Judge Milian. What's your reaction?
My reaction, I should have went my way.
It seems like she was there for you when you went through some tough times and needed some help. She was there, right?
Absolutely.
So
And I was
is there gratefulness on your part
Absolutely.
for that?
I love the girl with all my heart. But
The mom?
absolutely, the whole family.
You love the mom too?
Yeah. She, they took me in like a son.
You still have feelings for her?
No, it's been too long.
All right, okay. Okay, documents, right
Thanks.
that way. Okay, come on in here. Step on in here. You satisfied how this comes in? How this
Yes.
comes out?
Yes,
Could you
I
stand
am.
here, please? Thank you.
Sure. I am satisfied because Judge Milian saw through him and his lies. So I am happy that the truth came out.
Why do you think he waited so long to sue you? And
Because he probably
he
has
doing it
no
now?
money now and probably still has feelings for me. So, and I wanted nothing to do with him.
you loved him at one time?
At once, yes, when I was young and stupid and many years ago.
Okay. Over to Harvey.
Okay, in most states, these wedding ring cases are no fault, which basically means if you don't get married, the guy gets the ring back. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.